Loose change for getting down. It's Friday and I'm on fire, and I know that I'll break your heart, and I'm sorry, I'm just so tired. These cars are just it, so won't you come?
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
What's going on, everybody? Crispy Bacon here, and welcome to Between the Ropes. I am here with Christy Wilson. How are you doing?
Doing good. Ready to talk wrestling, and I think we definitely have a lot to talk about.
I think so too, and hopefully we'll be joined by other people here.
Yeah,
more
hopefully.
in just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's like you said, it's been eventful. Draft coming up this week.
Yep.
NXT had their, I guess, somewhat pay-per-view, but not really pay-per-view.
Yeah, spring breaking on USA Network, so that was definitely interesting, but won't spoil it for anybody who has not seen it yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the draft for a little bit.
Mhm.
It's going to start this Friday on
Mhm.
SmackDown, and then it's going to run to the next week over on Raw.
Yeah.
I think over 90 superstars are going to be in the mix.
That's a lot.
Some with NXT, some with on SmackDown.
Yep.
Who do you think is going to be the top pick, number one pick?
That's going to be hard. That's going to be hard. I'm thinking right off the top of my head, it's from Roman Reigns. He's going to take both those belts to SmackDown.
I would think Roman Reigns.
Mhm.
Although I think a tag team that could be, I
Mhm.
wouldn't say first overall, but first tag team picked
Mhm.
would be maybe Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Yep. I definitely see that as well.
But that could be dropped soon because on that draft kickoff of SmackDown,
Yeah.
you're going to have the title match. And we know the past with Sami Zayn and all of that because the
And the Usos and all
pay-per-view.
that.
Yeah,
Yep.
because the
I just
next pay-per-view after Backlash
is
is going to
Night
be
of Champions, May
yeah
27th.
in I think Saudi Arabia, right?
In Saudi Arabia, definitely. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't
Yikes.
something about that in Sami Zayn. Maybe
No,
that's
Sami
where.
Zayn isn't going to go to it because his parents are from Syria,
Mhm.
and Syria and Saudi Arabia do not have a relationship, do not have like a diplomatic relationship. It's always been tension filled and everything.
Yeah.
So Sammy's not going to do it. And I honestly, on the go home show before Night of Champions, I wouldn't honestly be surprised, say if Kevin and Sammy retain on Friday, they defend those titles before that pay-per-view event happens so that you don't have to do it in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And Sammy won't do it. Sammy is not going to do it.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Who do you think could switch brands? Like Raw to SmackDown, SmackDown to Raw?
Trying to think. Maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking if you're gonna break up Damage Control, I think you move Bailey from Raw to SmackDown. That's one
Yeah.
person I can honestly think of, and I'm thinking Becky Lynch is the other one and Seth Rollins too, but I'm just guessing.
I think Seth Rollins would be good over on SmackDown. He's been on SmackDown before.
Yeah.
I think he's been 90% Raw though since he came
2016, I
into.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, since 2016, he was their number one overall draft pick that particular year when they first did this brand split. So that's where he's mainly been. Other than that, if he goes to SmackDown full time, I wouldn't be surprised if Becky Lynch also switches brands so she can be with him because that is her husband. And
Yeah,
so makes sense.
and I could see Damage Control remaining as just a tag team in
Yeah,
name,
just Dakota
not a
and Io.
faction.
Yeah, I think Dakota and Io have tension with Bailey. So, and maybe one way to break them up is, get Bailey away from those two.
Yeah, you're not having those two, feud with her. It's kind of a
No.
mutual parting because,
Hmm.
um, of the draft.
Yeah.
Anybody from NXT joining the main roster?
I'm thinking the tag team Pretty Deadly probably will go up to the main roster. If tonight's spring break-in episode was any indication, I think maybe Roxanne Perez, maybe
Uh,
her.
What about Breaker?
No, not now.
Not now.
Not now. No. So I think I'm not going to spoil this. I think he made a challenge and it was accepted. So he's going to stay there for a little bit longer until that's all tied up. And then he'll probably come up.
Any free agent?
That's
Oh,
free agents. Not that I'm 100% aware of.
because they're talking about how because the night after WrestleMania was kind of a dud.
Mm-hmm.
That
It was. There was no call-ups, no surprise returns, nothing like that.
they're saying this is going to be kind of like that.
They're kind of making up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hope Vince doesn't mess it up.
No, he better not. Because I heard this Raw he had changed things up, but it was mostly a Triple H Triple H type show. But Vince did
That's
stick
good.
his nose in and did give his 2 cents.
Yeah. We'll get to Triple H here a little bit
Yeah.
because there's
Okay.
some big news on that one.
Oh yeah.
And we are going over the Raw where the host
Mhm.
of Backlash is not going to be the host anymore, as now he's
Nope.
in a
He's in
street
the
fight.
pay-per-view as against Damian Priest of the Judgment Day. Bad Bunny.
I'm sure that's going to be the main event since
That
they
might
don't have Roman
probably
Reigns.
will. Nope. You might as well put 2 gentlemen who put in 2 gentlemen who do have history. And
they're both friends.
Both real friends and oh my
But
god.
but
Growling
I'm
cat, sorry.
it's okay. I'm sure Bad Bunny is going to have Rey Mysterio
You might.
in his corner because I'm sure
Yep. I mean,
either
Damian
Finn
Priest is probably
Balor.
gonna. Yep. Yeah, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, Rhea Ripley. I don't know. I don't think she's got a match against. Yeah, she's got a match against
Mhm.
Zelina Vega at Backlash. So I don't think she's gonna be. She might not get involved. I don't know. It kind of depends on how long the match goes.
Right. And
If it goes really long, then it means Zelina's taking Rhea to her limit.
it's in her home country.
Yeah, Puerto Rico is a U.S. Commonwealth. Yeah, I
Or
think Zelina's parents are from Puerto Rico, as
Mhm.
are Damian Priest's parents they're each from Puerto Rico, so they're both Puerto Rican, and Bad Bunny is from Puerto Rico, so
Right. That would
yeah,
make sense to
that would make sense.
yeah.
Hmm.
One match I have questions, and I know a lot of fans do, and maybe I'm
Hmm.
missing something.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins versus Omos. Where did that come
I don't
from?
get that at all. I don't know. That sounds like a Vince booking, just random match that you don't know what to make of it, and I don't know what to make of it. I'm like, who the hell did these guys piss off in the back to get put together in a match? Because Omos is like over 7 feet tall. He's huge. Rollins is like what, 6'1", something like that.
Yeah.
Like hello.
Warren says, "What's up?"
Lauren, hi.
Yeah, I have questions on that Seth
Me
Rollins
too.
Omos matchup because
Maybe
I
they
don't know. There's
don't
no
have
build
anything
up
for
to
either of
it.
them to do creatively. That's my best guess on that. Let's just throw them
Maybe,
together.
yeah. Uh, Of course, I think the match everybody's talking about is Cody and Brock.
Yep. I think Cody's gonna beat Brock after maybe getting F5'd a couple of times.
And do we see? Yeah, I think we'll have time. They'll have time before from the draft to the pay per view.
Mhm.
So you got the tag champions, Kevin
Mhm.
Owens and Sami Zayn, along with Matt Riddle,
Mhm.
going up against Bloodline.
Usos and Solo Sikoa.
Yeah. Will we see sometime at the draft, either Raw or SmackDown? Riddle or not Riddle, Randy Orton.
I don't know. I don't even know. I haven't heard anything as if he's clear to go out there yet. I'm not sure. But if he does, I'm sure he's going to get a massive pop down there in Puerto Rico.
Maybe in his corner. I don't know.
Maybe.
I could see that.
Probably help out or something. I don't know. There's been talk like, oh, if you bring Randy back, you got to turn him heel. What if he doesn't want to?
Right.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair is we talked about Io Sky.
Yep. They have a
And
match
then,
at Backlash.
and then you have the U.S. title matchup.
Mhm.
Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Bronson Reed in a triple threat match.
Ooh.
Now I understand that matchup.
Mhm.
They all want the title. They've all
They all
faced
want
each
it.
other for it.
Mhm.
I see that.
So to settle it by having all three of them in the ring fighting for it. That makes sense.
And I think it should be in a steel cage. That would be
It's
fun.
just a steel cage. Oh. Last time I saw Bronson Reed in steel cage NXT, he did the tsunami on Johnny Gargano and won the North American title.
Oh wow.
After he slammed the door shut and made sure, like, no, I'm not walking out. I'm gonna win this the hard way. I'm just gonna hit him.
Do you
That
see
was
if we'll
cool.
have like Gunther in a title match for Backlash?
I don't know. Maybe depends on who's gonna go up against. As long as it's not Sheamus or Drew McIntyre. I mean, I don't think you want to run that back. Big man
Yeah.
versus small guy, which Seth is winning. This
Yeah.
is a match to get Seth back on a big win to put him in the top. But yeah, I agree, Warren.
But like when Omos faced Brock, I thought
Hmm.
Omos was gonna win that matchup.
Yeah, me too. I thought, oh my God, Braun, oh my God, Brock, don't hurt yourself. Trying to lift this guy up so you can hit him with an F5.
And I kind of feel the same. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think Seth could win it,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
just looking at the size difference,
yeah, I'm like,
I feel
yeesh.
like Omos is gonna take that one.
Oh God, I'm just thinking, almost don't kill him.
Yeah.
Please don't kill him.
Becky starts
The
running
man's
out
got a
there.
family.
Becky starts running out there. It'll be like
He tells Omos, please don't hurt him. That's my husband. Please don't kill him.
what happened on NXT with
Oh, no.
Gargano
Oh my God.
just coming out from the crowd and
Yeah.
um.
Hmm.
So, what do you think of this past week's SmackDown?
It
Thoughts
wasn't
on
too
it?
bad. It was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean,
No, it wasn't bad. I mean, it looks like Sammy's trying to place doubt in Jay's mind, and maybe vice versa with Jay doing it to Sammy because they're saying, "Oh, think the what I've been seeing on social media, they're all like teasing Sammy and KO breaking up, like, oh, you know the story with these two. They're friends, they're not friends. They're friends, they're not friends." And I can't see them losing their tag titles this week because you put all this effort into the storyline. Excuse me. You give these guys this epic WrestleMania moment where they beat the Bloodline in main event night one, and you want
yeah,
to break them up. That to me doesn't make sense.
no, but I think whenever the time comes to,
Hmm.
I guess, break them up is with that whole thing with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
They'll probably write it into the storyline of,
Yeah.
well, they can't get along. Of course, they can't.
Of course.
They have to find a way
Always
to
seems.
cover up.
Hmm. Yep. It's been
Um,
like that for years. If you look at NXT, as KO congratulates Sammy for winning the NXT title, and then he just turns on him and starts beating him up.
That is true.
It happens all the time. It's like they're friends or not friends. Friends, not friends.
And Shinsuke Nakamura returned, and I guess Karrion
Mhm.
Kross has a new target.
Yep. TikTok.
I'm not sure why.
I think
Maybe
this is
going
just to
back.
build Karrion Kross back up. Maybe he can get into the title picture.
I hope so. I mean, I
I
like
hope so
Karrion.
too. He's
I-
really good.
Yeah. They're just, I don't know, wasting him, kind of like they're wasting
Hmm.
Viking Raiders. I'm not sure
I don't know either.
what's up with that.
I don't get it.
Break them up. I think at this
Break him
point
up,
it's
Mhm.
unsalvageable.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe send the Viking Raiders back down to NXT. It's done wonders for some other main roster stars. Finn
Maybe
Balor. You had Kofi and Xavier Woods, Apollo Crews.
yeah,
It's done really well for them. I don't know. Maybe they should contemplate going back. I don't know.
I wouldn't mind that.
Mhm. Even though
Speak,
NXT's tag team division is really good.
and I think it's gonna get better if
Mm-hmm.
we see one of the NXT tag teams
Yeah.
come over.
Yep. I think the one I predicted was Pretty Deadly.
What brand do you think they'll
I'm
join?
thinking. I'm thinking Raw. Maybe
Yeah,
Raw.
I think they would fit Raw.
Yeah.
They'll do it.
They're flamboyant. They got great skills in the ring. They're very flashy and flamboyant. It might work.
I mean, it would. I wouldn't mind that.
No.
I've heard something about, and I don't know how this would fit in, but Seth Rollins joining them as a faction. I don't know. That's
Isn't probably the outfits again. I don't know.
maybe.
Because they wear very flashy, bold outfits. He does the same thing. I mean, what he wore this Friday on SmackDown, I'm just like, stop
What was,
raiding your wife's closet, dude. Come on now.
what was that? Like
I
a
don't know,
leopard.
leopard print something. It had an open back, and I'm like, what the hell is this? That's like, no.
So over on Raw, we saw, I guess, a couple matchups.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of those? Where we get to the big reveal.
Uh, what matches were they? I'm sorry.
I'm not sure. I think
Okay.
Seth Rollins was involved.
Yeah, he had a segment with Omos, where he said, I'm going to make you a star. And then I'm thinking, oh, why aren't you scared of this guy? He just completely towers over Seth.
Yeah,
Seth's not a small guy himself, but he looked tiny.
you did.
It was so freaky.
But I guess if you want to call it a comeback,
Yeah.
the WWE Heavyweight Championship is back in
Mm-hmm.
play
Yep.
in a different design.
Yep.
What do you think of the revamped heavyweight title?
I like it. I think it's really pretty. I think I've heard some people call it like the old big gold title, but it's just more detail and everything.
Yeah,
It
it
doesn't
kind
make
of
it
looks
really
like
cool.
the
It has the side plates on the side, and it just very intricate, I guess. They showed more detail, and I'm like, whoa, that's
yeah.
really nice.
And if you want to get the belt, you can get it on their website for too much money.
Way too much money. If
Uh,
you're willing to pay an arm and a leg for a replica title belt, go right ahead.
even
I'm not
the
doing it.
yeah, even the
It's not worth it.
the past, like the older ones,
Mm-hmm.
they're half the price of that. And it's
Yeah,
still
they are. Like
too much.
$250 for, I think, a replica. I'm guessing either a replica WWE title belt or a Universal title belt, maybe $200 for a replica Intercontinental title, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't go shopping for this stuff because
I don't
it's too
either.
pricey for me. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe, and I'm like,
I'd rather spend money on, say, stuff like a replica coin with Trayvon Diggs on it than a replica title belt from WWE.
yeah.
No.
Um,
And that did not cost a lot of money.
no.
No.
Who do you think is going to be the first, or I won't say first. I guess first. I don't know. The first person to win it in this iteration.
There's a lot of names being thrown out. I think the general consensus is Seth Rollins
I
because Cody's probably gonna go to SmackDown. And he's just gonna hassle the hell out of Roman until he gets that opportunity.
yeah.
Yeah,
I can see, and I hope it would be cool if it happens.
yeah,
Finn Balor.
that's another one.
I mean, he got robbed of the
Universal title,
Universal
yeah, because
Championship.
of his shoulder.
Yeah,
That
and
was terrible. I mean, it was the main event SummerSlam 2016. I'm like, ugh.
yeah, and it was like his debut pay-per-view match.
He debuted
And
Demon King. He was in his Demon King getup and everything.
and I thought that build-up was good leading up to
That was
that
really good.
matchup. That was a good build-up.
Yeah,
I really would like to
Mhm.
see him get another title, especially if it's a first title.
Oh yeah,
See what he can do with it.
yeah. I mean, we know Finn is super talented in the ring. He's so good. He's won other titles. This would be huge. This would be huge for him. It took
Now
him 2 years before he got a rematch for the Universal title.
Yeah, that is true.
Mhm.
And just, I've heard confusion of what Triple H said
Mhm.
of
I
how
think
this
he
all
was shading Roman a little bit. He doesn't have to demand your acknowledgement. You have a champion who's earned your acknowledgement. So I'm like, oh, he's throwing a
Yeah.
little shade at Roman. I like that. Because Roman
Yes.
always says, acknowledge me.
Some say that because he's taken all this time off that they're punishing him.
Ooh.
And
Ooh, Roman?
yeah.
I think it's
And
probably due to past health issues. He wants to get as much rest as he can. I mean, he's dealt with leukemia twice in his life, so.
right. And so wherever he's drafted, Raw or SmackDown,
Yeah.
will get the Universal title.
Mhm.
WWE title is going to go in the trash, so to
Yep.
speak.
They kind of
And
like merge the titles together.
yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
a
Maybe that's to see if
unification.
maybe they'll give Roman a big, beautiful gold title belt or something like that. I have no idea.
I don't either.
don't
I
either.
thought they
No.
were going to like put the two titles together. I've heard rumored of that since we won both titles. It's never happened.
Yeah.
But the other one's going to be thrown away, and then whoever doesn't have Roman will get their own belt.
Yep.
So
There's a good number of people out there who could win this new championship that they revealed on Monday. I mean, even Karrion Kross tweeted mentioning, "Oh, I see some people have been tagging me this new title." I'm like,
And somebody else has been looking at the title. Logan Paul.
Oh God. Please, no. What's the deal with him you're going viral, Roman, as he hits a frog splash on him at Crown Jewel.
It'd be funny if I know this won't happen, but like the Big Show show up. I want that title.
Boom. Gonna knock somebody out.
He already won it though.
He did.
A couple times.
And now he's doing his own thing in AEW, which is nice.
That is good.
Yeah.
Anything you want to cover from either Raw or SmackDown before we get some headlines?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I don't either.
Yeah. Well, I know the whole thing. Trish Stratus started the whole feud with Becky saying, "Yeah, I changed everything." And I'm thinking, really?
You may have
Coming from someone who got down on her knees and barked like a dog for Vince McMahon. I can't believe it. That's terrible. Long ago.
She kind of helped out, but she wasn't really the first. But she kind of led the way.
She was part of the whole women's evolution moving forward and everything. Lita was a part of it. AJ Lee was a part of it.
Yeah.
And then you have Charlotte and Bayley and Becky and Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné. So there's all that stuff. And that's I think pretty much it.
with all the draft stuff going on, there's been reports of doing like they did in 2016, 2017,
Ooh.
where
Uh-oh.
they would have Raw exclusive pay-per-views, SmackDown exclusive pay-per-views,
hmm
and I think like WrestleMania, SummerSlam,
Like when
the
both brands
top
come
four,
together. Yeah.
yeah, will be your normal pay-per-views.
hmm I think Survivor Series. I think that's going to be
Yeah,
Team Raw. Yeah. Okay. So 3 out of the top pay-per-views are going to be where the brands all come together. Okay.
right. Um,
Brand exclusive premium live events. Not wasn't a big fan of it the first time in 2016 because SmackDown was putting on really good pay-per-view events while
they
Raw was
were.
mostly not great. I
eh,
mean, you had Raw only Hell in a Cell where you had Rusev versus Roman Reigns inside
Yeah,
Hell in a Cell. I'm like, huh?
that wasn't
And
good
then
at
you
all.
have Backlash, the SmackDown only event. You have Becky Lynch winning her first title, AJ Styles winning WWE title, and that was actually not a bad
No,
pay per view at all. But kind of showcased SmackDown had the better roster while Raw was not so much.
when I think SmackDown had the better show in
hmm
that era, that those year or two.
Yeah,
Um, it felt like it had the better roster, the
it did.
better setup, the better
hmm
whatever it was. But
It had better everything.
and it's weird because it's 2 hours compared to Raw, which is three.
hmm
You would think the
Yeah,
3 hour show would be better than
yeah,
the
it
two
is.
hour show.
I mean, I looked forward to Tuesdays on the USA Network for SmackDown because it was more fun, it was more exciting, it was more entertaining.
You had Daniel Bryan,
Brian
Danielson as your
Danielson and Shane
commissioner.
McMahon in charge. When it started, you had Jon Moxley, then Dean Ambrose as a WWE champion. You had AJ Styles, you had Miz and Maurice, you had
Yeah,
Natalia, you had Carmella, Alexa Bliss,
you had Nikki Cross
you had Nikki Bella,
when she was
actually.
good. Yeah, Nikki Bella.
Yeah, Nikki Bella, you had John Cena. I mean, the roster on SmackDown was just full of great talent. Raw had some decent talent too with Seth and Roman and Rusev, but it's just I don't know. It wasn't as good
No,
for it being WWE's flagship show.
and I mean, do you think it's about it's been back to that status of being good, or you think
Mm, it,
SmackDown's
I mean, SmackDown's been doing a little bit better than Raw, but this draft could either even things out or just could be one could end up being better than the other. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Mm-mm.
Um, so CM Punk was at Raw backstage.
Everyone freaking out on
Um,
social media about that. Oh my God, he's there! He's there! He was
yeah,
just
and
there to visit with people. He visited with. I think I heard he visited with. There was a video of him chatting with Tamina. I heard he went backstage. He chatted with Triple H. He had a conversation with The Miz where they buried the hatchet. And then Vince McMahon finds out and says, "No, get him out! Get him out! He don't work
right.
here no more. He works for the competition. Get him out!" I can't do that Vince voice at all.
I can't either. But apparently, everybody's like, "Hey, you need to leave."
Yeah, I think that was when Vince McMahon finding out and telling, saying, "Get him out of here."
But I would
Still
like to know.
some, still some animosity there, but
But I would like to know what that conversation between Triple H and CM Punk was, because
I don't know. Maybe
um,
just say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" I don't know.
because I think they
Could be just
didn't.
casual conversation, maybe. I have no idea.
I would hope so,
Yeah.
because uh, they didn't leave on good terms.
No.
I don't think.
No, they didn't. They actually handed him his pink slip on his wedding day.
That's disappointing.
That bites. Yeah. It's supposed to be the happiest day of your life. And
Yeah,
you end up
and
getting fired that day from your job. I'm like, that just sucks.
let's
I'm like,
see.
poor him and AJ, they had to deal with that crap.
Are they still together? I've heard that. I mean, they had the
Yes.
on-screen
No,
romance?
they're together.
Okay.
They're still together. She's working for Women of Wrestling as both a commentator and a producer.
Huh.
Yeah. I think it's on the CW network, I think.
Okay.
I haven't been tuning in lately, so I'll have to watch an episode one of these days.
Yeah. I heard that Eva Marie is supposed to come back, but as a darker personality.
Mm,
I don't want her.
I don't want her either. I don't care if she's heel or baby face, if she has pink hair, red hair, black hair, green hair. I don't care. Keep her off my TV screen.
Yeah.
Mm,
Put up her against another match with Piper Niven.
Piper Niven would just flatten her like a pancake.
Probably. But it'd be funny if she's like, you did this to me.
You
Something
made
like
me
that.
change my name to Dewdrop. Yeah, dare you.
Will we see Butch get his name back?
He's supposed to.
Okay.
He's supposed to go back to being the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. I mean, he's wearing the old Bruiserweight gear they used to wear in NXT UK.
It'd be funny if, like, during the draft, they just say Pete Dunne for no reason.
No reason whatsoever.
I mean, we know the reason, but
His Triple H let him have his name back because I mean, I think there are people out there who never accepted him as Butch. We're like, no, that's Pete Dunne. That's not Butch.
Well, people never accepted the name Gunther.
No,
I mean, some are now, but
some are now. They still remember him as Walter.
Yeah.
Now they know him as Gunther.
I remember. I think maybe it was 2016. Or no, it was the NXT invasion for SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, 2019. I think 2019 for Survivor Series. I think Gunther was there.
And I think it was him, at the time, Walter, Seth, and somebody else, like champion versus champion versus champion.
Oh yeah, I think it was Seth versus. Oh my God, it was a WWE champion. No, it wasn't Kofi. And Kofi lost the title to Lesnar for SmackDown of the new season. Was it? I'm thinking it can't be. Was it Brock Lesnar?
Maybe it was Brock. Sounds like it.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Walter or Gunther versus Brock. And there's also been a lot of injuries I've noticed this past year with. I mean, you got Kofi out with an injury.
He's out.
You can add Braun Strowman. He had a concussion.
Yeah, he talked about that.
Which I understand. You don't want to put anybody in danger for the concussion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because of brain damage and everything like that, you don't want it to get really bad.
But I mean, you can still use.
You can't have them too. You can't have them too close together either.
No.
No, that happened to Adam Cole. He had 2 concussions within a 3-week span, and he was out for 9 months.
Who was?
Adam Cole.
Oh yeah.
In AEW, he had 2 concussions occurred 3 weeks apart, and then he was out for 9 months.
That is a long time.
It is a long time. He only just had his first match, I think, just almost a month ago.
There's been a lot of talk of London shows, and I know WWE's doing theirs for Money in the Bank.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see who has the better sell.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are
Money in the Bank or AEW All In.
Which is, I think, isn't Money in the Bank first?
It's July 1st. AEW All In is, I think it's, August 27th, and that's at Wembley Stadium.
Right. And
I honestly still can't believe they pulled that off.
Well, either way, whatever in the number is that WWE sets, and I know it's in the O2 Arena or whatever.
Yeah.
That AEW is going to have to set.
Yeah, because Wembley Stadium, I think, is a 90,000 seat arena, and I don't know if they are going to be able to sell out or anything. I mean, if they do, it'll be miraculous. It'll be
Everybody's hoping it's going to be like that concert they had.
what was it, Live Aid?
Who- Yeah,
Live Aid, yeah, it was
they
1985,
want
I
that.
think it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they want that kind of environment.
yeah, kind of like
Uh,
let's see, O2 Arena.
and AJ
Oh yeah,
Styles.
the O2 Arena can actually seat up to 20,000 people.
So
I'm sorry.
it's less,
It's
but
up.
you could
It's
fill it out.
less. Yeah, you can fill it. I mean, WWE will have no problem filling that place up for Money in the Bank.
And Woodbury can sell it.
Yeah, AEW is going to have a challenge trying to see if they can even sell out 40 to 50,000 seats of Wembley, but I think all 90,000 seats are available. They're going to
It'd be
start. The tickets are going to go on sale May 5th. So,
it'd be funny if
there's a lot of pre-orders too. So I'm sure that's going to help out as well.
it'd be funny too if they're like, okay, it's sold out and we have to move venues because there's so many tickets. Not because of something else.
You
like
can
they
like
did
set up
last-
in parks like giant flat screen TVs or something like that. Here, you want to watch AEW All In? Join us at the park. We can have you. You can get your food, you can get your drinks, and you can watch wrestling. I don't know how they're going to do it over there.
And it'd be funny too. It's like the afternoon, people are walking by and you get these big flat screens, and it's like,
They're like, what
are
the
they
hell's going on?
doing?
What are they doing? What are they setting up for? Looks like a party.
Yeah.
Kind of.
We're watching people beat each other up. That's all. We're bored.
No, UK wrestling fans are just very passionate. I remember watching some NXT UK
Yeah.
episodes, and a lot of the venues, I mean, the people were singing and cheering, and they really love pro wrestling over there. So
That's good. I mean, it's
yeah,
good
it's
to
good.
have any sport, any entertainment work in other countries.
Yeah, it is.
AJ Styles is
WWE
another person that's injured.
and his injury isn't healing up really well, so I guess he's going to have to look at other options from other doctors. Like, what do you do? If he has surgery, then he's out longer than he thinks he's going to be.
Makes for a good storyline when he comes back.
That would be, yeah.
I had to fight
AJ Styles,
my way
I had to fight my way back.
and that was kind of interesting.
It's gonna be like the LL Cool J song. Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah. And speaking of injuries, they showed Cody Rhodes' injuries when he had his promo on Raw.
He took his shirt off and showed off the scar where they had to cut him open to reattach his pectoral muscle.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, what's he showing
It's
us
like,
that?
do
I
we
know it's
have to
healed up, but I can't deal with that.
Well, when he was talking about it, I thought they were going to show, like the flashbacks and all of that. And I'm like, please don't show it again.
Please don't show it again. Yeah, I was like, I can't handle. I'm like, no,
And
I can't handle seeing it. Like, it was like oozing all the way down to like this part of his, like I think to this halfway point of his arm. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
As I was so gross, I was grossed out by it. I'm like, this dude is insane.
I was too.
He's
I'm not
crazy.
squeamish. I'm not squeamish that much.
Like this, no.
I'm not squeamish that much, but that was
No,
pretty
I just never
bad.
seen. I just remember Seth's reaction. He's like, and probably through his head, he's like, please don't let that ever happen to me.
Yeah.
And he's a big fitness fanatic. He does CrossFit. It also involves him lifting weights and all that. So was probably like hoping, oh, don't ever let that happen to me.
When it's interesting too,
Sure.
they always say to be fit and all this stuff, and then you hear, like health concerns and all that. And it's like, do I want to? And
Makes you wonder.
Yeah. Anybody that is injured, do you think they'll come back?
Well, I think hopefully if the injury heals up, I think AJ Styles is gonna come back. So
Yeah.
Braun Strowman, give him some time, have him go through concussion protocol, and if he's good to go, then he's good to go. Don't know about anybody else. No, I know Becky Lynch has a minor injury, which is why she hasn't been on Raw for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think some sort of minor injury she had. They just said, you know what, just sit it out, and hopefully she'll come back and tell Trish Stratus to shut her mouth.
Right.
Or say, I challenge you to a match or something like that.
Looks like this is an AEW Saray or Paige.
Saraya. Yeah,
Yeah.
Saraya.
Is going to return to the ring.
Yeah,
maybe
she's
she
been
already-
back in the ring for a few matches already.
Okay.
Because she made her debut for AEW back in September in New York, and she's had her first match was AEW Full Gear against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Right.
And then she's done some tag matches, and she's formed a little faction called the Outcasts with Tony Storm and a woman formerly known as Ruby Riott, now Ruby Soho.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
'Cause it's-
Something about them and a can of spray paint spraying the L on any homegrown AEW talent. I'm like, it's just stop it. They say it's kind of an homage to the NWO, and I'm thinking those guys probably wouldn't like what you're doing, but what
Unless
do I
they-
know?
unless
Unless
they
they thought it was,
talk to them.
yeah. And the
Hey,
green spray paint, I think,
tomorrow.
is in tribute to Generation D, D-Generation X, because their X was done in green spray paint in their logo,
Okay,
I think.
Then
Yeah,
that would make
so it
that
might
would
have
make
something to do with
sense.
it. Yeah.
Because the page I saw that story on about
Mm-hmm.
Paige coming back or
Mhm.
Saraya.
Soraya,
Yeah, had this story back in 2016 where Kevin Owens was fired. Not really fired, but so
yeah. I think that's when she was I think when she retired after and was out for 5 years, she took the GM role at SmackDown, and she fired James Ellsworth. She threatened to fire James Ellsworth, I think.
I can't
I'm
remember.
like,
There's
lady, I was thinking, lady, remind me to never piss you off.
there is a video. I can't remember when. Maybe it was when Carmella came back. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
And they showed Ellsworth watching WWE.
Ugh, he's creepy.
Yeah,
He's so creepy.
I don't know what he's doing now, but
I don't know either.
I
But
mean,
he's
he
still,
wasn't
bad.
bad, but
No, it's just, I think it was just a novelty act, a comedy act.
I would like to see. Speaking of comedy acts, I guess Heath Slater.
Oh my god, he has kids. I think he Rhino. Excuse me. I think he's doing his thing. I think it's an Impact. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because here's a big headline from Impact. Nick Aldis returned. The National Treasure. So he returned to Impact. So it should be interesting to see what happens over there with him back. And there's so many different matches that so many different opponents he could work with, except with the exception of one who's currently injured, Josh Alexander, who was the Impact World Champion. Yeah, thanks, Dragon
Yep.
Viper. It is an
Mhm.
Impact. Thank you.
And
I
he
was trying
also-
to yes, Ellsworth is ugly. I agree. He doesn't have this. No chin. That's why his move was called No Chin Music. Like you're
Because he
copying
didn't
Shawn
have it.
Michaels there.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff happened. We got a new belt.
Yep, a new belt.
I'm still undecided on who wants to win that new belt.
I don't know.
Um,
I keep thinking I'm gonna say it's a toss up between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor.
I would like to see Finn Balor win it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Kitty. Oh, I would like the new belt too, Draken Viper. It's really nice.
And especially that since I
Mhm.
guess Roman's going to
Rerip.
keep one belt.
Mm-hmm. And wherever he's drafted, that belt's going to go with him, and he's just going to continue like staying away and all that, unless something happens where someone's I don't know.
He's going to be Roman one belt.
Roman too. There's some people were doing pictures of like Roman with all three of them. I'm like, knock it off.
I know.
Please don't give him any ideas.
Yeah, they show him
I
at
can't stand the
wrestling.
fact that he has 2 belts. If you give him this new one, I'm like, "That's it. I am done.
I would like to
I
see
am
the
so done."
I would like to see the storyline of
Mhm.
him going up to Adam Pearce or Triple H and going, "I want that belt.
Yeah.
Give me that belt."
Give me that belt. He's gonna be like Kenny Omega collecting belts. Triple A belt, AEW World Title belt, Impact belt. How many other belts are there?
So Dragon Viper's also saying that Seth
Yeah,
Rollins will win it in his opinion, and
that's
that
one of my picks. I've
Roman
said it
Reigns should
been.
just leave.
Don't we all wish he would go away?
Yeah.
Lose the belts and then go away.
Well, I mean that was the
I would say
rumor
acknowledge
for
something, but it involves a certain part of my hand. I'm not doing it, so no.
yeah.
Nope.
Well, I mean there is talks for a while that once he
hmm
loses the belt, he's out.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
mean,
think that was what was supposed to happen with WrestleMania, but it just didn't happen that way. I think Vince just said, mm-mm.
and some people
"You're
also
keeping the belts. Cody doesn't get them."
and some people also said that kind of another punishment that because I don't know something about Cody.
Yeah, Cody left,
Yeah, and
became a
started
better wrestler.
AEW.
Started AEW. That was a question I had when he lost. That's like one of the things I tweeted: is he being punished for starting AEW? And I think someone replied to me and said, "Yeah, it's a possibility there."
I'm thinking it's a possibility only because they had that replica uh, chair that Triple H
hmm
had in and all that, and he
Oh yeah, the throne and
busted it.
the
Yeah.
Double or Nothing 2019 Cody with the sledgehammer. He
Hmm.
hits a replica Triple H throne. Oh jeez, yeah, I have the DVD set. I watched it. I'm just like,
Yeah,
you did not
I'm
just
sure
do that, did
Triple
you?
H was making a note.
I thought I would have cleared the air on that one, Cody. Like, I was just having some fun. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, it's I
hmm
think that was a little payback, and
That was a little payback,
Triple H is probably like, yeah,
you,
I'll welcome him with open arms, but if
but
he
I'm
wants
not
a
gonna.
title shot the first time, I'm not gonna give it to him.
Ugh.
Uh, that would, I mean, now maybe
hmm
the second go around,
Maybe.
he could get a title shot, but I think that first time was just like, hey, here's what I think about you coming back, and you're not gonna get that
No,
title
you
shot.
don't get it. Yeah, and all because it's like Roman should reach 1,000 days. No,
So who do you think
he's
from?
gonna hit 1,000 days at Night of Champions anyway, but he won't even be there.
Well, is that going to change because?
Yeah, because he's
Uh,
only gonna have one belt instead of two.
yeah,
Universal one is the one he's held the longest. That's the one that's gonna hit 1,000 days. All right. Have a nice
yeah,
night, Dragon
yeah,
Viper.
Dragon Viper. Um, yeah, I think that's what they're like. Okay, if we keep one belt, which one? Well, he has this one the
Hmm.
longest.
Universal title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I like the two belts they already had. I didn't
hmm
see any problems with it. Some people did.
No, it's
I
just because
mean,
Roman's been holding him for so long.
yeah. And he'll probably be the second person to hold this one.
hmm
Won't be
Yep.
the first since he already
Mm-mm.
has the title.
Yep. He does.
Do you think they'll bring back a somewhat? I've been watching old wrestling hardcore championship esque
Nope.
title.
I doubt it.
It won't be
I
like
saw this.
24. But
Nope. Nope. Not like that. I have seen one picture saying if there was a women's intercontinental champion, who would you pick? And they had a picture of certain individuals like Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox, Nikki Cross. It's like pick one.
you could if
I personally went with Tegan Knox myself because I thought,
yeah.
give her a chance. You also have Shotzi Blackheart. You could have either Dakota Kai or Io Sky win it as singles competitors. There's a lot of women singles competitors that aren't being utilized properly. You give them a title that'll give them something to strive, give them something to go for.
Yeah,
It's an idea, but I don't know if they're ever going to do it or not.
they do have the women's championships on both Raw and SmackDown, but
Yeah.
That's the only thing they got.
Yeah, Bianca's had the Raw Women's title, I think, for over 400 days, I think. Or she's getting close to it, I think. And then
Right.
Rhea Ripley just won the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania in that epic, awesome match against Charlotte Flair. So
You could have
I
called
don't know.
you could call it the Worldwide Women's Championship. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm not in the creative space, so
No, I'm not either.
I'm not sure how to.
We're
really-
just guessing here.
Yeah. Before we head out,
hmm
any last minute thoughts you have on
Mm.
lead up to WrestleMania or not WrestleMania? Well, it
already
was a
happened.
WrestleMania
Yeah.
backlash thing,
Now they
but
just call it Backlash. I think Triple H said, we are not calling it WrestleMania Backlash. Forget it.
I'm glad they took
But,
out WrestleMania.
Yeah, that just doesn't make any sense. No, my final thoughts are this is definitely going to be really interesting as we get closer to Backlash. And Backlash should be, I hope, a pretty good pay-per-view or premium live event, whatever you want to call it.
I hope so too. And one thing I have is I've heard that they were now it's just talks gonna bring back the $60 payment.
$60 payment.
For the pay-per-views.
Oh, that's for Endeavor. Yeah, they charge $60 to $70 for like a UFC pay-per-view through ESPN Plus. I'm like, you flipping kidding me?
Yeah, I'll find a way.
I
to
only
watch
pay
it.
$4.99 for Peacock.
Yeah,
And I spend enough as it is on entertainment, like streaming services and all that stuff. I'm not going to spend $60 to $70 for a pay-per-view. I pay
Well-
$49. I pay $50 for AEW pay-per-views, and I don't regret it at all.
Well, and like
So-
you said, it's hard to pick the media because it's
Mhm.
like, oh, I want to watch this, but it's on this
Yeah.
streaming site.
Right.
I want to watch this, but it's on the.
Mhm.
You can't
Yeah.
buy them all and just.
Nope. You
They should
can't.
just put, have one app, put everything on there,
Mhm.
kind of like cable,
Yep, kind of like
but
that.
just
I
one
mean,
streaming app.
yeah. It's like I can watch like AEW pay-per-views on Sling TV, but you have to pay $49.99 for them. I'm like, I already pay for a Sling TV package. I don't need to pay for a pay-per-view. I'll just do Bleacher Report.
One is like the
Or
the
just
news.
watch it from Peacock Premium, $4.99 a month. $4.99 a month, and you get the ads. I'm like, yeah, I'll deal with it.
When it's two, and I know it's not wrestling, but the Sunday Ticket.
Oh,
They moved
NFL,
over
yeah,
to
that's on YouTube.
and it's
I
like
think that
$700 or something like that. Like
they can't do it.
overpaid, and it's
I'm
like
like, what the
no.
hell? You kidding
Now
me?
it feels like $50. Okay,
I'd be
but
fine with $50 for YouTube.
yeah,
NFL Sunday Direct Ticket on YouTube. You can watch Cowboys games because they don't air over here all the time. I'm either getting Seahawks or Broncos.
yeah,
Occasionally Vikings, probably because of where I live. So
yeah.
I mean, the only way I ever get a Cowboys game on like Fox, for example, if it's America's Game of the Week.
Or sometimes Red Zone will put it in.
Yeah,
there
that's
for a
mainly
second.
that's what I do. I do Red Zone.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive.
But WWE don't do what
Please
YouTube
don't.
TV and Red Zones are
No,
doing.
no, don't do what YouTube and NFL Sunday Direct Ticket is doing. Please,
That's a no-no.
we beg you.
But I think that's all we got for today.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. Great shows coming to network, and join us tomorrow for Sports Minute and Inside the Cougars Den following the 2023 Oregon Cougars football season. So with that, we'll see you next week for Between the Ropes. Have a great evening.
Good night.